Okay. Well, let me bring in Erin here, and we heard about the hyper-informed traveller, which Dave emphasised. That's the fact that travellers are using more sources of information across more channels, more media, more device types than ever before. There's also been some significant changes in both search and the impact of social, which is really leading to changes on how people are consuming content, and really the bar's been lifted in terms of the types, the depth, the immersiveness that content needs to really reach to engage and influence travellers. So Erin's put together a gallery of examples that really show some of the sort of current and future trends that we're seeing in content types. So Erin, over to you.
Great, thanks Chris. So while research identifies what types of content resonates with travelers when they're making destination decisions, it's how we creatively develop and execute this content that really connects with those travelers and inspires them to choose your destination. Dave talked about the responses from people, how they describe destinations they're interested in. Exciting, relaxing, amazing. These are all emotional attributes. It's how visitors are feeling when they're in your destination. And that's why you want to travel, right? I mean, you might want to see a historical site or eat at a particular chef's restaurant while you're on a trip. But I think the main reason people travel is because they want to feel a certain way. Relaxed on a beach, thrilled to be skiing down a mountain, amazed at being immersed in natural wonders. And that's why it's so important for DMOs to have a rich collection of inspirational content, words, photos, and videos that connect with travelers on an emotional level and offer the why and the wow of a place, in addition to the how content from your planning content, such as partner listings, your maps, your deals. And this type of inspirational content is how you position your destination to potential visitors so that they select you over anywhere else they may be considering. So with that in mind, I wanted to share a few examples of inspirational DMO content from around the world. Some of these are destinations we work with at Miles, some are not. So let's first take a look at some specific content types, such as articles. This Secret California Bars article on the Visit California website does a really nice job of combining large visuals with well-written content. You can easily scroll through the article and just read highlights of each bar, or you can click the orange expand button to learn even more, including the history, how to get in, and what to order. And this feature is particularly nice on the mobile experience. So lists are another great content type that resonates with today's travelers. I mean, just look at how popular BuzzFeed is. What I like about this 12 Reasons Kids Love Branson list on the Explore Branson website is that they've used real traveler photos as the basis for this list. And that adds a really nice layer of authenticity that resonates with today's travelers. Dave said earlier that 65% of travelers use user-generated content when planning trips. Itineraries are particularly helpful for travelers when they're trying to get an overview of the destination and understand what can be experienced in a weekend or a few days. This Memphis travel example is especially nice because it not only combines a mix of what looks like produced and authentic photography, but it presents trip ideas in a more conversational way. So you don't automatically feel locked into a tight hour-by-hour schedule. The links are easy to see if you want to dive deeper to learn more about any particular place. So by now, we've all heard about and hopefully we've all seen a 360 video. If you haven't, I would highly encourage you to check one out. Australia has some wonderful videos. Even better if you can view them in a VR headset. I know that was at the top of everyone's Christmas list this year. This is just really truly an innovative way to immerse your potential visitors in your destination. And this new technology is also really changing the way that we tell stories. I was recently in Gatlinburg helping to produce a 360 video, and because the camera literally takes in everything all around you, you have to make sure your story and what you're filming also takes every angle into account.
And it's interesting to note, Erin, that you know, with some of the recent developments in technology, the cost of creating 360 videos has certainly come down substantially, but Certainly it needs to be factored into your overall sort of content budget, and you want to be at the leading edge, not the bleeding edge of these areas, and certainly not at, for example, the detriment of investing in more traditional online video types, which, as Dave was highlighting, we're seeing increasing in importance.
Right, they're definitely a great complement to your content plan, but they wouldn't take the place of regular online videos. So social media usage, as Dave said, is continues to grow. It's grown sevenfold over the last 8 years. Dave mentioned the importance of recommendations from friends and others when they play in a traveler's destination decision. And that's why having a strong social media component on your site is so important. It not only adds a layer of authenticity, but it really encourages your past travelers and your locals to share their own travel photos. And you're essentially empowering them to be ambassadors for your brand. Here on the new Michigan.org, we use the Pure Michigan Snow Day hashtag to curate this selection of user-generated social media photos. It really just shows you how granular you can get to really tie these photos to your particular theme that you're trying to show. So now let's take a look at how some DMOs are combining these different content types into more richer, engaging digital experiences. So Visit St. Pete Clearwater created this dynamic Gulf Coast landing page, I love the name of that, for the area's new craft beer trail. And it combines video, written content, and an interactive map that moves as you scroll down through the trail sites. Each of the breweries showcase featured brews, directions to get there. The UX of the page, the slow load of the background, really contributes to the overall immersive experience. There's an element of reveal and surprise to this that's really nice. And overall, the site does a really nice job of tying big picture inspirational content to planning content so that travelers are served everything they need to get inspired and book a trip.
And I love the little tie-in there to Uber so everybody gets home safely.
So visitmammoth.com does a really nice job of presenting themed page collections around certain activities and interests, such as sightseeing. The design is clean and crisp and translates really nicely to mobile devices. The page has a nice wealth of written content mixed with videos and photography. And as you move down the page, you get into more details around specific sightseeing trip ideas and related events. Again, that all ties into this theme of sightseeing in Mammoth Lakes. We know that culinary travel has become a huge trend over the last years. One of the first things I do when I plan a trip is figure out where I'm going to eat. It's very important to me. The Louisiana Culinary Trails, this is a really great collection of culinary content about the Bayou State. As you scroll down, you can check out restaurants, different culinary experiences around Creole and Cajun cuisine, watch short recipe videos that have become so popular, order a culinary trails guide, and then you can jump off onto individual culinary trails all around the state to learn more about eating your way through Louisiana. So our last example is Ireland. This golf page on Ireland.com, I mean, I think it would make anyone want to be a golfer. It certainly makes me want to try golfing. It combines beautiful scenic photography with inspirational quotes from the pros and celebrity golfers. It links to top courses around the country. And scrolling through this immersive page really feels like a preview of what you would expect when you're teeing off on one of Ireland's famous greens. And again, just weaving in pro tips, insider information, and links makes the content more actionable. So again, those are all the examples I have for you today, but there are so many great examples of DMO content out there that I really encourage you to look around and see what your colleagues are up to. I think it's important to know that while we only showed you desktop experiences, because that's really what works best in this format, your content needs to be equally inspiring on mobile. More than half of DMO traffic is coming from mobile devices, and we know that people want to be inspired on smaller screens just as they do on larger screens. And also, finally, remember that content isn't limited to your digital channels. Your print products are an important part of the travel planning process, so take advantage of the natural tactile qualities of print products by featuring large, stunning photography of your destination and really painting a picture of what travelers will experience and how they will feel while they're there.